Yo yo, Rengulius here, and welcome to Wrench Feels Like Playing Fallout 4. We're going along the journey of the Lucky One, a disfigured war vet about to be thrown into a very unlucky life. Our boy didn't start off on the greatest foot. He was lucky enough to avoid the coat hanger, but it left his right ear disfigured. As a child, he was bullied because of this, so he ended up getting into lots of fights, because he ain't no bitch, causing his nose to be permanently crooked. Throughout his time in the war, he was lucky enough to avoid a bomb, but it left the left side of his face scarred and burned. This didn't stop him from snagging a banging wife and having a child, though. He starts off chilling in his suburban home with his slave robot and wife, when a salesman comes knocking on his door.
You know, I was nervous at first, but Codsworth's really good with Sean.
FBI, open up!
Turns out, he was a prophet of the impending doom, but luckily enough, he had our hero's salvation.
The big kaboom is... It's inevitable, I'm afraid. Coming sooner than you may think. Catch my meaning? You have been pre-selected for entrance into the local vault. Vault 111.
Oh my God! Wow!
I'm a little busy right now.
Oh, of course, of course. This won't take but a moment. It's just a matter of verifying some information.
So this lucky son of a bitch is going to be min-maxed to fit his role. He's going to start off with 5 perception in order to have at least a little bit of accuracy in VATS. We're going to have 5 charisma because we're going to grab one of the books in the beginning of the game to up that to 6 so we can get local leader. We're going to have 5 agility so that he's going to have at least a little bit of action points to use VATS. And then obviously he's going to be maxed out 10 luck so that he's going to have all of the luck abilities that he can use. This is the Lucky One.
Now, I can't wait for the world to end.
That's the spirit.
Funnily enough, moments later, when playing with his son Sean, disaster strikes.
Sir? Mum? You should come and see this!
Codsworth? What's wrong?
Followed by... Yes, followed by flashes, blinding flashes. Sounds of explosions. We're, trying to get confirmation of... We do have coming in. That's, confirmed reports, I repeat, confirmed reports of nuclear detonations in New York and Pennsylvania. My God.
With that, our family fled to the local vault luckily acquired moments earlier. Running past unfortunate families, we come across the Vault Tech employee who gave us our spot in the vault who's being denied access.
That's absurd! I am Vault Tech.
You don't get
I'm
in.
going in. You can't touch me. Okay.
Luckily, we are on the list.
list.
Infant, adult male, adult female. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you!
You two, follow me! Come on!
We make it just in time before the bomb's blast wave reaches us.
I love you. Both of you.
We love you too.
Hold on!
As we enter the vault, we are greeted by Vault-Tec employees, ushering us to our new home. Little did we know, that wasn't the case. We were asked to put on vault suits and enter individual decontamination chambers. Throughout the panic, no one thought to ask any questions.
The pod will decontaminate and depressurize you before we head deeper in the vault. Just relax.
As the pod freezes over, we slip into unconsciousness. For what feels like moments later, we awake in a frozen haze. Unable to move or react, we are left paralyzed only to watch as 2 individuals appear in front of our wife's pod. It seems like they're only after one thing: our son Sean. In the struggle of not wanting to let our son go, my wife was shot by a dangerous-looking man with a very large gun. And as he slipped back into unconsciousness, all he could think about was one thing: murder. Vengeance.
On vengeance.
The death of the man who just shot his wife and stole his son. As we come to consciousness for the second time, we find that we can use our limbs. With our miraculously inhuman luck, we banged on the pod glass and it opened. Once we fall to the floor, we quickly try to race to our wife's pod to open it up and check on her.
Come on! There has to be a release! Come on, come on, come on! Oh, God!
But we quickly realize that our wife is no longer with us. So we decide to loot her dead corpse and move on. As we run through the vault, we get spooked by a creature in another room, so we look for a weapon. We found a security baton that looked good enough to defend ourselves with. We came across a creature, ready to take it out, realizing that it was a giant cockroach.
Giant roaches? What the hell?
So I decided to become an exterminator, because
The only good bug is a dead bug.
I was feeling a little parched from all the bugs I was killing, so I got some water. I found a pistol in the other room, good for long-distance bug killing. And I also picked up some eyeglasses, because everyone knows you can see better with glasses on. Back to exterminating. We came across a Pip-Boy, unbothered by the fact that it's wrapped around a decaying hand that probably smells like 200 years of death. And we put it on. And looky here. It still works. Good thing, because we need it to open the vault door.
Vault door cycling sequence initiated. Please.
So we went up the elevator and headed to the surface.
And thank you for choosing Vault Tech.
The final vault door opens, and we praise the sun. We run down to Sanctuary to see what has become of our once beloved home. As we get closer to home, we find Codsworth trimming some bushes outside.
As I live and breathe.
Reminiscing over my dead wife and missing son, Codsworth finally lets us know it's been 200 years.
Not eating properly for 200 years will do that, I'm afraid.
200 years? What? Are you...
A bit over 210, actually, sir.
With that, we go a little delirious and go along with whatever Codsworth feels like we should do.
Shall we search the neighborhood together? The missus and young Sean may turn up yet.
Lead the way.
Proud to serve, sir.
We shuffled behind Codsworth, only able to watch as he takes out more overgrown insects.
The missus and young Sean.
Once all the bugs were dead, Codsworth mentioned that there might be people in Concord.
Sean's out there, Codsworth. I need to find him.
What about Concord, sir? Plenty of people there.
I decided to loot the area before we moved on. We came across a cellar and hit the jackpot of 3 gold bars. We found a skill book in our son's room and upped our charisma to 6.
How you doing?
We found and killed another roach, which leveled us up to level 2. And we went with Scrounger in order to find more bullets to use and sell. Heading out to Concord, we came across a red rocket station and met Dog.
You a good boy? Yeah, you're such a good boy for me, aren't you?
He proves good in a fight and helps us take down some overgrown mole rats. And we look for the nearest elevated platform to hide from, to get a better vantage point. And then wins, am I right?
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
All of this just works.
Dogmeat killed the last one, and we were feeling a little hungry. So we decided to eat all this
Fresh meat.
Full from our meal, we cleared a spot in the station, set up a bed, and went to sleep. Exhausted from our first day in the wasteland. We woke up feeling well rested next to Dogmeat. Feeling a little parched, I drank some water and started my day.
Good morning, good morning. We talked the whole night through. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. We talked the whole night through. Good morning to you.
And then I fired again, and then I missed, and then I fired, and then I fired, and I missed.
Seeing that I was outmatched, I had to wait for Dogmeat to come rescue me. Heading into town, I hear gunshots in the distance and go to investigate. Encroaching in on a large firefight, I targeted one of the combatants, and with the tag Raider over their head, I didn't think twice to start shooting. With Dogmeat, bats, and the power of luck, we were able to easily take down the Raider horde. A man on the balcony pleaded for our help. He claimed they were still being attacked, and I needed answers, so I headed inside. We leveled up, and I picked Idiot Savant to speed up the leveling process. Once inside, I dispatched with the Raiders. The last raider fell, and we went to go talk to the settlers stowed away in the room. A man introduced himself as Preston Garvey, and asked us for even more help, claiming that they could help us in return. Another man by the name of Sturgis claims that there's a suit of power armor on the roof. I agree to help and head towards the power armor, picking up the perception bobblehead on the way. I find the power armor, pop in the power core, jump in, and pick up the minigun.
Oh boy, here I go killing again.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Run away! Run away!
Like any good survivalist, I run away and cheese the shit out of killing this Deathclaw. We take out the remaining raiders and level up. I picked up Rifleman to do more damage with what will be our main weapon type. We head back inside to check on the settlers. Preston rewards us and offers us a spot in their new settlement. Mama Murphy claims to see things. She says that our son is alive, and says the best place to look for him would be a place called Diamond City. We agree to join the settlers and head off to Sanctuary. It'd be nice to have a place to stock up and rest before we head off to Diamond City.
We're heading for that place Mama Murphy knows about. Sanctuary. It's not far.
She knows about it? You mean she had one of her visions while she was stoned out of her gourd?
We make it to Sanctuary safely. I do some repairs on my armor and do some cooking. Then I go talk to Preston.
And I hope you don't mind, but I've got another favor to ask. I've had word from a settlement asking for help.
And there he goes again, asking for our help, even though he knows that we're still looking for our son and need some time.
Oh, good. I was hoping for a chance to rescue some more helpless villagers.
It's not that people are helpless. They just need someone to give them a helping hand. That's what it's supposed to be all about. By the way, if you want to help out around here at all, talk to Sturgis.
We found Sturgis to see what he needed to get done. He had a pretty big list to get this settlement up and running, so we went to it. A comfortable bed is essential for a good night's sleep, so we started off with building our settlers some beds. Next up, a clean source of purified water. In order to keep a sustainable flow of fresh water, I decided to build a water purifier. I built a nice platform for our generator to sit on and looked for materials to build it. I also needed to find materials to build the water purifier. After that, we need a food source to keep our people fed. So I cleared an area and planted some crops. Now, we needed some security in order to make our people feel safe with all this newly founded infrastructure. After building the guard post, I went to find a weapon to give to our security guard. And I gave that position to Yun Long, our most skittish settler, just for fun.
Thanks for doing that. We'll all sleep better at night knowing we have some defenses set up. It's been a long road. But yeah, I think this is it. Home.
Completing the tasks, we level up and spend our perk points. We go with Mysterious Stranger for some random instant kills. And then we go with Better Criticals for better criticals. Dogmeat and I headed off to continue our journey to find Sean. I thought it best to take a rest at Red Rocket Station before moving forward. But we were interrupted by rumblings below us, below the ground. So we went to investigate. I found a giant hole below the station, so I went in. Saw some giant mole rats, loaded up, and started firing. Found a crucial fusion core, so I picked it up. I'm starting to hear boss music, so I heal up, load up, and run towards the battle.
Gotcha, bitch!
We moved on, and Dogmeat found something. I went upstairs and couldn't believe what I found. It looks like Dogmeat just wanted something to wear.
Yes, Queen! Slay! Slay! Slay your enemies! Ruler of one of the realms of men! Smite down those that oppose you!
That was enough excitement for one day, so me and Dogmeat headed back to Red Rocket to go to bed. In the morning, we head back to Sanctuary to grab our power armor, now that we have a fusion core to use. When we got to our power armor, we decided that it needed a paint job. And we went with Baby Blue to give it a little bit more charm. I upgraded my pipe rifle as best I could, and then we set off to Diamond City. We walked past Concord, looting as we went by. Just outside of Concord, we met a trader named Carla, where we sold our goods and got directions to Diamond City.
Excuse me.
So what's your story? Looking to trade? Rob me? Or just ask directions to Diamond City?
Further up the road, we come across a tense scene just outside of a diner.
Trudy, hand over the goods. You owe us.
I ain't giving you poison shilling chem pushers anything. Do you know what that junk has done to my boy?
I don't like the way they point their guns at me, but I try to de-escalate the situation, especially if there's money to be made.
Mr. Power Armor, this doesn't involve you.
You stop waving that gun in my face, or it's gonna involve me.
Okay, just take it easy. We'll lower our weapons, alright? Just don't do anything crazy.
I'm calling it right here. This world can officially bite my ass.
Hey, we all got problems, alright? I'm just trying to collect on what's owed to me. Don't suppose you feel like helping us out? Could use an extra gun, or maybe you talk some sense into Trudy over there.
If I help, I expect to get paid.
Alright. I was gonna pay you 100 caps, but why don't we make it 125?
I'll talk to her. Maybe we can work this out.
Appreciate it. If things go sideways, we'll back you up.
I saw you in that poison cellar talking. Well, he ain't getting his money. Period.
Look, you owe them money. If you just pay them, then this'll be over. Everyone walks away without getting hurt.
I got a better idea. You take care of Wolfgang. I'll pay you 100 caps to put a bullet between his eyes.
Wolfgang and I had a deal. If I'm gonna back out on it, I'll need more.
Okay? I'll make it 125 caps. I'll pay you 150 caps then.
All right, Trudy. I'll get rid of him.
Thank you. I'll back you up from here.
Trudy had the better offer, so Dogmeat and I went to work. Trudy rewards us, and we do a little bit of trading before we move on.
Here, this is for you. Now, if you ever need to trade, my shop's open.
We came upon a drive-in theater, which I thought would make a good place to rest before we move on. But first, we had to clear some giant mole rats before we could secure the area. We started off by cleaning up the barrels around the water pool that is causing all the radiation. I cooked some mole rat up and moved the cooking station to a better spot. I collect some materials and make myself a shelter. We place down a bed and reach level 7. We finished off with some interior decorating. It's a little early, but we decide to go to bed before we continue. In the morning, I cleared the rest of the area and found another fusion core.
Duh. Winning.
And get attacked by a legendary rad roach.
That's a huge bitch!
I hop in my power armor with a spare fusion core in hand, and we head off to Diamond City. I walk up to what looks like an abandoned building and do a little bit of exploring, and I managed to find a book that allowed us to get better prices at all vendors. Walking up to a large firefight, I thought it best to go around.
I said, nope.
Soon after, I saw that I got a distress beacon and I decided to check it out.
Authorization ARCS, Ferrum 9-5. Our unit has sustained casualties, and we're running low on supplies. We're requesting support or evac from our position at Cambridge Police Station.
Seeing an easy opportunity to exploit some people who needed some help, I quickly ran over. Arriving on the scene, another man in power armor is fighting off what seems to be zombies?
What? What the fuck?
We jumped in and helped clear the living dead. The man revealed himself to be Paladin Dan's, a knight of the Brotherhood of Steel. They seemed like a bunch of looters to me, so I thought I'd fit right in. Seeing an opportunity to make some powerful allies, I decided to help them out. They're after a transmitter in an old industrial building. Seemed easy enough. Encountering minor bumps along the road, we find our intended destination. Entering ArcJet, we come across a scene of destroyed security robots, and Dan's believe they were taken out by something called a synth, made by some faction called the Institute. He seemed to think they were very dangerous, so we moved forward on high alert. We entered a room with a locked door, but I was able to find a password on a local computer to open them up. Shocked to see what was on the other side, we engaged in a firefight. I managed to level up with the help of a mysterious stranger. I quickly picked up Critical Banker to store critical hits, and Grim Reaper Sprint for a chance to restore our action points quickly. Picking off the remaining synths, we moved forward. Picking off the remaining ArcJet defenses, we enter a room with a large engine core inside.
Engine core's ahead. Should be our final stop. Look at this place. Scribes would have a field day in here.
Needing power turned back on in order to progress, I found a computer terminal and hacked it. Restoring power, I snagged a free fusion core and headed towards Dan's.
Fusion core power restored.
Ooh, piece of candy. Returning to Dan's, I find that he's under siege by more synths. Considering Dan's a lost cause, I started the engine cores to clear the path to the exit. Somehow, Dan survives, and we head up the elevator. Finding more synths at the top of the elevator, we cleared the room and find our objective.
Open fire! Let's get out of here. We'll take the service elevator to the surface.
Exiting the building, I hand over the transmitter to Dan. And in return, Dan's rewards us with righteous authority.
Respect my authority!
Dan's also offers us a spot among the Brotherhood of Steel. I decline the offer and continue my search for my missing son. Passing by a brewery, I level up. And pick up 4-leaf clover for a chance of refilling my critical meter. Continuing up the train tracks, I run into a wild dog and take it down with some help from a mysterious stranger. Reaching the outskirts of downtown, I managed to find myself in the middle of a firefight. Both parties were hostile, and I took that personal.
It became personal with me.
Deeper in town, near the place Carla marked on my map as Diamond City, I hear more gunfire. Getting closer, I see what appears to be enlarged green men, so I start firing.
It's over. Now.
I finally meet a group of people who don't shoot me right away, and they point me towards Diamond City.
You're our kind of guy. Looking for Diamond City? Just follow the signs.
What do you mean you can't open?
We walk up to the city gate and find a woman named Piper arguing with the gate operator.
I got orders not to let you in, Miss Piper.
Oh, look, it's the scary reporter.
I'm sorry.
She's locked out, and so are we. But she's able to use us as an excuse to get inside.
Said you're a trader up from Quincy? You have enough supplies to keep the general store stocked for a whole month? You hear that, Danny? You gonna open the gate and let us in, or are you gonna be the one talking to crazy Myrna about losing out on all the supply?
We were able to get inside, and were greeted by the mayor of the city, Mayor McDonough. He was upset with Piper for writing things about him in her newspaper. But we were able to steal his attention and convince him to tell us where we could find some help.
And a mayor of a great city must know everyone. Who can help me?
Well, there is one private citizen, Nick Valentine, a detective of sorts who specializes in tracking people down.
With that, we enter Diamond City. As night falls, we sell any goods we can and repair our armor.
Everyone else may be closed, but Diamond City Surplus is open 24 hours a day.
I found a place to sleep in the Dugout Inn, owned by the Bobrov brothers.
See this bar? I killed a man for it. No, I kid. He is dead, though.
Waking up feeling refreshed, we set off to talk to Nick Valentine. The people of Diamond City seem to be very nervous about synths. As I turn the corner into the center of town, a gruesome scene unfolds.
I'm not a synth. Don't shoot, for God's sakes. We're family.
Put the gun down now.
He's a synth. He'll kill us all. Kyle, no!
Okay, show's over. There are no synths in Diamond City. Hear me? Just you folks and your damn paranoia.
I find the agency and go in. I am met by Nick's assistant, Ellie. She informs us that he's missing and asks us if we can go and look for him. He was working a case at Park Street Station, so I headed there, snagging some supplies before I left.
You have the right idea. Power armor. Only way to travel.
Just outside of town, I have to fight off more ghouls and super mutants. Running by the comic book store, we level up to 10. Going with Rifleman 2 to up our damage output. We reach the station and enter inside.
I'm telling you, joining.
We hear men talking in the other room, so we crouch down and get close. They mention having Nick Valentine captured, so I wait for my opportunity and strike.
Everyone tells me he's no good, he doesn't love me like he should. I would forget him if I only could. He's a demon, he's a devil, he's a dog. That man can look me in the eye and tell the biggest, sweetest lie, and I forget that lipstick on his tie. He's a demon, he's a devil. Sometimes I make up my mind that I'll stop being so blind and tell him off real bad. But then it turns on those charms and there I am in his arms, and I forget why I'm mad. I wanna tell him drop dead, but I keep loving him instead. My mama must have dropped me on my head. He's a demon, he's a devil. Ow! A dog. Sometimes he thrills me through and through. Sometimes he's sweet, sometimes he's true. Sometimes I wish he were in Timbuktu. He's a demon, he's a devil, he's a dog. He says he'll call for me at 9. He's a darling, he's a dreamboat, he's a dog.
Hey, you! I don't know who you are, but we got 3 minutes before they realize muscles for brains ain't coming back. Get this door open!
We finally find Nick, and come to find out that he's a synth. Funny how no one seemed to mention that before this.
Knight in shining armor. Question is, why does he come all this way? Risk life and limb? An old private eye.
Whoa. What are you?
Told you, I'm a detective. Look, I know the skin and the metal parts ain't
Not needing much convincing, we grab the speech bobblehead and quickly make our escape.
Perfect.
Running into a couple more triggermen, Nick helps me take them out and I reach level 11. grab the second star of Idiot Savant. Taking down Triggerman on our escape, I find a comic book that gives us 5 more action points.
Bingo.
We finally encounter Skinny Malone, and after fighting off all of his men, I'm really not in the talking
Come
mood.
into my house, shoot up my guys? You have any idea how much this is gonna set me back?
I wouldn't be here if it weren't for your two-timing dame. We're getting along. Well, so much for Skinny Malone. It'll be an awkward conversation with Darla's parents when I tell them their daughter bit the big one. Well, at least the case is closed. Let's get out of here. There's a service ladder that should take us right to the surface.
We make our escape and head to the surface, using what must be the longest ladder in existence.
Look at that Commonwealth sky.
We finally surface, and Nick thanks us for rescuing him, and he asks us to come to his office in Diamond City to help us find Sean. We make it back to Diamond City, and head to the Dugout Inn for some rest after such an exhausting long day.
All right, here.
Room 2 is yours. Enjoy.
Waking up feeling well rested, we head over to Nick Valentine's office.
Oh God, it's really you.
Well, it's hard to mistake this mug for anyone else.
Ellie rewards us for finding Nick, and then Nick asks us to sit down to start the investigation.
When you're trying to find someone who's gone missing, the devil is in the details. Tell me everything you can.
I answered a few questions about my family and the events that took place in the vault. Describing the man who shot my wife, Nick surprisingly seems to have a suspect.
You didn't hear the name Kellogg at all, did you? Let's you and I take a walk over to Kellogg's last known address. See if we can snoop out where he went.
We reach Kellogg's place, and Nick is unable to break in. So he asks us to go to the mayor's office and see if we can snag a key.
That's the elevator to the mayor's office. Why don't you go ask around there?
Heading up the elevator, I find Piper arguing with the mayor's secretary.
Afraid of talking to the press? I bet if I said I was with the Institute, he'd come running.
Do you ever think maybe you could get a man's attention easier if you use softer words, honey? Maybe shout a little less?
Oh, that reminds me of this article I'm writing about the mayor's affair with a certain airheaded blonde.
I was able to convince the secretary to hand over the keys to Kellogg's place, and I was on my way.
Well, you do seem like a sweet guy. All right. I'm just going to leave this key on my desk and forget I put it there.
Making it back to Kellogg's, Nick and I casually walk into another man's home.
Head in. You do the honors.
Searching around for evidence, I find a button that leads to a secret room.
I'm telling you, something's not right. Well, that's one way to hide a room.
Finding a big old stash of evidence, Nick suggests using dog meat to track down Kellogg.
Gwinnett stout beer, 44 caliber bullets, and cigars. Any suggestions, Nick?
What about dog meat? Commonwealth mutt like him can track a man's scent for miles.
It seemed a little far-fetched to me in this big open wasteland, but I've got no other options.
Got something, boy?
We left Diamond City following Dogmeat. He led us into an alleyway with a group of raiders blocking our path, and they wouldn't let us through. So I went to work.
Oh, it's on!
Reaching level 12, I went with Bloody Mess for more gore. Feeling safe, we made camp before continuing. Dogmeat was able to pick up Kellogg's scent in the morning, and we were able to find one of his rest stops.
Kellogg must have stopped here. Search around, see if we can pick up the trail.
San Francisco Sunlights.
Dogmeat find something?
Kellogg's preferred brand, all right.
Just after that, we spotted 2 Deathclaws duking it out. Unfortunately, they catch our scent, and we have to take them down.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Moving on, we encounter giant mole rats just before we find our next clue.
Looks like another one of Kellogg's pit stops.
Dogmeat can track this.
Keep your eyes open.
After that, we encountered a pack of wild dogs and took down a giant mutated bear on the way to another clue. Following Dogmeat to another clue, it's getting obvious this guy has a bit of a drinking problem. Following his trail, we cross a bridge and encounter some ghouls. Moving up the road, we encounter more ghouls, ruining a family vacation. We find another cigar, and it looks like we're not the only ones pursuing Kellogg. Up a little ways, we find some wet, bloody bandages, so we know we're getting close.
Was this our man?
Using some stored up crits, we take down some pesky insects. And we reach Fort Hagen, our intended destination, leveling up to 13. And we take Ricochet to make enemies pay for shooting at us.
Let's you and I take it from here.
Leaving Dogmeat behind, Nick and I move in on Fort Hagen, dealing with its outer defenses. find a hatch on the roof and enter, but we instantly get swarmed by synths.
You're in for it now.
Realizing that the building is infested with synths, we seek the help from a projectron. But I mistake it for a synth and end up having to blow it up.
Oopsie whoopsie! Ooh, we made a fucky wucky! A little fucko boingo!
Continuing on, blowing up more synths and the building defenses, we head down an elevator and start getting messages by Kellogg over the building's intercom, telling us to stay away. He seems a little worried to me.
Yeah, if it isn't my old friend, the frozen TV dinner. Last time we met, you were cozying up to the peas and apple cobbler. Sorry your house has been a wreck for 200 years, but I don't need a roommate. Leave. Never expected you to come knocking on my door. Gave you 50-50 odds of making it to Diamond City. After that, figured the Commonwealth would chew you up like jerky. Look, you're pissed off, I get it, I do. But whatever you hope to accomplish in here, it's not gonna go your way. It's not too late. Stop. Turn around and leave. You have that option.
How convenient is that? Wow, how convenient is fucking that?
We find a passcode for the building's armory, which is conveniently in the next room, and go to loot it. And what do we find? But the the Fat Man. We also find a book that allows us to sneak a little better.
Okay, you made it. I'm just up ahead. My synths are standing down. Let's talk.
This motherfucker, after killing my wife, kidnapping my son, and making me fight an entire army base full of robots, thinks that I just want to talk to him.
Knock, knock.
What a burn? That sort of thing could get a man fired.
We take down the remaining synths and loot Kellogg's body. Using Kellogg's passcode on a nearby computer, we confirm that he was working for the Institute, and that they have our son, Sean.
The Institute was the puppet master all along. Damn, even I don't know where they are. They built me.
Nick suggests that we go talk to Piper in Diamond City, as she seems to know more about the Institute as she leads on.
Only person I know willing to snoop up the Institute's tail feathers is Piper, the reporter in Diamond City. I say we head her way, talk this through.
We exit Fort Hagen to an ominous scene of Brotherhood warships flying across the sky, claiming to come in peace.
People of the Commonwealth, do not interfere. Our intentions are peaceful. We are the Brotherhood of Steel.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
They fly off into the distance as we head back to Diamond City. We retrace our steps and run into a super mutant. And we find ourselves back in the alleyway we cleared earlier, taking a much needed long rest. In the morning, we made some breakfast before heading back to Diamond City. Once in town, we do our repairs on our armor and do some shopping. Striking gold at Arturo's, we find a heavily modded laser rifle and swap all of the parts over to Righteous Authority. Out of that, we got an overcharged capacitor, a marksman stock, and a fine-tuned beam focuser. A pretty good haul if you ask me. I added improved sights for good measure. Then we head over to Piper's to see what she knows.
Well, Nikki Valentine walks into my office for a change.
We bring Piper up to speed on what's going on, but unfortunately, she doesn't know very much. However, Nick gets the idea that we might be able to use what's left of Kellogg's brain to view his memories in a place called the Memory Den. It seemed crazy, but it was our only option. And we took Piper with us to see if we could get any use out of it, as Nick was headed to the Memory Den regardless. The settlement of Goodneighbor was deeper into the city. As we head by a graveyard, we get attacked by a bunch of ghouls. And end up having to fight off some super mutants as we enter the settlement.
Hey, hold up there. First time in Good Neighbor? You can't go walking around without insurance.
You better back off, or you're the one who's gonna need insurance.
Well, hey, all right. We'll just say your insurance is paid up. Okay?
Getting extorted as we enter the settlement, the mayor doesn't take too kindly to that, and we get the true Good Neighbor welcome.
Outsiders walk all over us. One day, there'll be a new man.
Come on, man. This is me we're talking about. Let me tell you something. Now, why'd you have to go and say that, huh? Breaking my heart over here. Now I know you had old Finn handled back there, but a mayor's gotta make a point sometimes.
We enter the Memory Den, and we're greeted by a lady named Irma.
You had forgotten about Delomi.
May have walked out of the den, Irma, but I'd never walk out on you.
She informs us that Dr. Amari's downstairs,
Dr.
and we
Amari?
head there.
Yes, I take it this isn't a social call.
We need a deep dig, Amari, but it's not going to be easy. The perp, Kellogg, is already cold on the floor.
Are you two mad?
We hand over what's left of Kellogg's brain, and she thinks we can use it through Nick. But unfortunately, it's encrypted. And Amari suggests that we use my brain power to overpower that encryption. We hop in a machine and get to work. Going through Kellogg's memories, we skip through his childhood and early family life until we find his interactions with the Institute.
Systems offline. Impressive.
We relive the scene in the vault and come to a recent memory of Kellogg's place in Diamond City, where we see Sean and find out how the Institute travels around the Commonwealth using teleportation.
Bye, Mr. Kellogg. I hope I see you again soon.
Bye.
Discussing what we just saw with Dr. Amari, we decided at best to look for the scientist mentioned in Kellogg's memories that recently left the Institute.
Where did the memory say he was? The glowing sea?
The memory said he's hiding in a place called the Glowing Sea, a dangerous environment full of radioactivity. With no choice but to move forward, we level up. Taking another level in Better Criticals, for you guessed it, Better Criticals. Feeling underprepared for that journey, we head upstairs to talk to Nick, thinking it best to have a companion that doesn't take radioactive damage.
Nick.
Hope you got what you were looking for inside my head. That was right. I should have killed you when you were on ice.
You want to try for round 2? Let's go!
What?
Not wanting the memories of the man who killed my wife follow me around, I decided to keep Piper and look for someone a little bit more robotic and less creepy. We exit the memory den to Hancock addressing the people of Good Neighbor.
Now I know you all are doing your own thing, but I don't want anyone here to forget what matters. What kind of twisted, unneighborly boogeyman would want to hurt our peaceful community?
The Institute and their synths.
That's right. Who said that? Coming up to my office later. You've earned yourself some jet.
It seems they're just as worried about the Institute as the people of Diamond City. I head to a hotel to rest up before we continue on.
Are you actually going to go down and do some work?
Being available to the customers is work. It's not all about cooking chems, Claire.
It's not all about sampling those chems either. Maybe if you stopped using, you could focus.
What? Where's the fun in cooking it if you ain't using it?
My mistake.
We pay for a room and head upstairs, and run into a person from our past.
What? No, it can't. It's you. From Sanctuary Hills, right?
Wait, are you from Vault-Tec?
I am Vault-Tec.
Looking for a place to call home, we suggest that he go to Sanctuary, and promise that we'll come to visit.
You will? Okay.
After another long day, we head to bed, thinking about the last couple of days. I got revenge on my wife's killer, and through his memories, I've seen my now much older, kidnapped son, which just reinvigorates the need to push on. But I know I can't take on the Institute by myself. I need to resupply and find some powerful allies willing to help take down the Institute. It might take an army, but I will find my son Sean. Thank you for watching, and if you like what you see, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. It'd really help my channel grow a lot. And if you want to check out some of my other content, that'd be cool too. Peace.